and I just totally just shoveling into my mouth.
In Campbell, I went for chocolate and ice cream, yeah.
My wife made raisin cookies.
Pastries is my weakness.
I actually had almost half a dozen raisin cookies and a couple of Rice Krispie squares.
I cheated a little bit. I had a strawberry tart.
Well, sometimes those things are just too tempting.
Well, my blood sugars went up to 9.1.
Really?
9.5. Took about a week and a half to come back down. And it's the same thing with my past alcoholism. After the first drink, it gets easier and easier to do. And I had to adapt the 12-step program to this diet because of the cravings that that one little slip had.
There is some intriguing evidence that suggests that the neurotransmitter systems that are activated in when you eat carbohydrates are similar or the same as the ones that are involved when people take drugs.
It's not that hard for me because quitting alcohol was way, way harder than doing anything like this. I mean, I've just changed the course of my ship a little bit and going in the right direction now.
To achieve statistically significant results, Wortman needs about 100 participants. By the new year, he's made it with 96 people on board.
And what's your overall impression? Do you think that most of the core group are following the diet? And
you know, for the most part, they are. They're very honest with the times that they are off of it, so I'm documenting that sort of thing.
Among those who've fallen off is Tina Dick. She had to stop following the diet for medical reasons.
I found out that I have acid reflux, so I can't be eating the greasy stuff.
She looks so good, like she's lost a lot of weight, and it's just awesome. It's amazing how just taking out the carbs and that, what it does to your body. I want to start right now, but it'll happen.
Since the beginning, I've now lost 58 pounds since August the 17th, 18th, and around there when I started. I've lost 9 inches off my waist and roughly 7 inches off my chest.
But Jill has received devastating news and is falling off the diet. Jill's mother has just been diagnosed with lung cancer.
Hello, Jay.
Hi.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Welcome back to the base.
Oh, good to be back.
Yeah. It's just been a lot harder to get back on track than I thought it would be. And I keep telling myself that I'm not the only one that's going through this, but there are times it just feels like it because it's my mom.
Art Shaughnessy has suffered a major setback due to health.
As a result of a lot of the tests that I had, they discovered 80% blockage on the main artery, and there were 2 other little arteries that were going down, branching down, which were 90% blocked. The doctor turned around and said, unfortunately, you're going to have to, the only way to fix this problem is to go through open heart surgery. A lot of people have come up to me and said, Art, this is because of this diet. Look at it, it's deteriorating your health. And I keep looking at them and I keep saying that, but I had the heart problem prior to me even going on this diet. That happened in May. I didn't start the diet until the first week of September.
One of the big fears people have about a low-carb diet is that you're going to increase your fat intake and that there is an idea that the fat is related to heart disease. I think the research now on low-carb diets is telling us that that's not an issue. One of the big fears people have about a low-carb diet is that you're going to increase your fat intake and that there is an idea that the fat is related to heart disease. I think the research now on low-carb diets is telling us that that's not an issue.
It makes me laugh because some of the people who are the most unhealthiest physically have been the ones being negative about this diet. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding.
Yes, there are the naysayers who feel they need to share with you that this is, hard on your heart.
This diet, get it, die it.
The American Society of Nutritional Sciences, the Canadian Society of Nutritional Sciences, has universally not endorsed the principles of the Atkins diet because it makes people ill. And the evidence that we have is that people lose weight, but they rapidly gain it back. And so this yo-yoing of the weight loss, weight gain is really not healthy.
I run into people and they say, oh, you're that guy that's trying to get the Indians to eat the Atkins diet. It's, you know, I clearly there are a lot of people that don't agree with what we're doing and disapprove of what we're doing, but I think it's vitally important that we do something.
About her is those tree trunks high.
I eat a fair amount of the traditional foods.
So you got your sockeye salmon, which I love.
That's my ultimate favorite fish.
Seaweed is my favorite.
I do enjoy smoked ooligans.
Clams, your ooligans, your ooligан grease.
My grandfather used to tell me that the yellow color in the grease is our sunshine in the wintertime when there's hardly any sunlight.
It's a welcome sign of spring when the ooligан return from the ocean to spawn in the inlets along the coast. Knight Inlet is where the Namgais have been harvesting their ooligан for generations. They have a short window of time, sometimes just 2 or 3 days after the fish have spawned, to catch enough for the year.
Hey, Jay.
How you doing?
Welcome to Tawadi, and you're more than welcome to come aboard.
Josh Duncan is a commercial fisherman. Today he's taking Wortman up the Gleetna River to join the annual ooligан harvest.
Only the jet boat could get you up these rapids right now. Oh, it's getting a little deeper now.
Coming up here helps me understand that the traditional food gathering practices are robust. People are still doing them. The unfortunate thing is that the resource itself probably doesn't produce enough for everyone to use the way they used to.
We don't see a lot of females yet. You can see, well, there's some spawned out ones there, right? Yeah. You know, we've seen a decline in the ooligан in the past decade. We do know there's a lot of ooligан caught in commercial fisheries, trawl fisheries.
In the process of colonization, the loss of land, loss of culture, loss of a traditional way of life, and to a certain extent, loss of access to those foods, they've lost a lot in terms of an affordable, accessible, traditional, nutritious diet.
If the summer of 2007 is anything to go by, the Namgais and other First Nations might be in jeopardy of losing another dietary and cultural cornerstone: wild salmon.
The food fishing, usually it's available to us when the fish are here, but this year the run's been so poor that they've actually limited it to, we ended up with 3 days food fishing, which is the first time that's ever happened to us. For this community, it's the main source of food for them in the winter months, and they had a target of 5,000, and we couldn't even get that this year because the fish just weren't there.
You know, before all these other foods were introduced, we probably ate fish good 4 or 5 times a week. Some of the old-timers, they have it for breakfast.